back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Jennie Friedman. I'm a money muse, business mentor, and today we're going to talk about how to grow an audience organically. So what I did this morning was go on my Facebook group. It's called Expanding Business with Ease. I will drop the link below. You are welcome to join us there. And occasionally I do these mentor classes where we talk about business related things on how to let it be easy is my motto. And so that's what today is. I'm just doing a brief introduction to say welcome to my channel, and I hope you will like and subscribe, share, and learn from today's masterclass or, well, mentor class. Okay, thanks. Okay, so we're going to jump into the how to grow an audience organically. And I'll tell you, I have my business page has almost 5,000 followers. I had a podcast at one point that had 500,000 downloads. I did zero advertising for either of those things. So I speak with a little bit of like background here saying I know how to get people, eyeballs on you without having to do paid ads. I've done paid ads too. Paid ads are a whole different kind of gig. And we can talk about that another time, but I wanted to be clear. So when I'm reading here, it's reading off notes I just was writing up for this mentor class, okay? So it's about first organic reach versus paid reach, okay? And organic means they found you, right? Versus paid or you're doing a lot. They still have to find you when you do ads. So you have to, you're more finding them. You're more knowing who your audience is, speaking to your audience with words, the keywords, or using titles and all that. That still matters in organic reach. Big time, okay? So this is why you want to know this, right? You don't accidentally want to focus on vanity metrics. You guys heard of that before? If you've heard of vanity metrics, that's your fans and your followers. An entrepreneur does not need a ton of fans and followers to have a thriving business where you can be making $10,000, $20,000 a month. You just don't. But you need to have a clear message and you need to have discoverability, right? So it's important to grow the fans and followers in order to activate the social media's platforms of algorithms. Okay, does that make sense so far? Think of organic reach as algorithmic reach. We want to activate those algorithms so that the platform will show you to more people without you really having to do anything other than the platform. Like, for example, Facebook might show you to 5 people that are on your friend list, literally. Or if those friends all like and comment, the algorithm says, hey, people like this, let's show it to more people. Maybe they'll show it to 5 more of your friends and 2 people that aren't your friends that this seems to be relevant to, or friends of friends. And it starts to kind of grow. Now, this is not, I'm making up examples to make the point, but like the numbers could be 50, 100, 1,000, 2,000, like, so don't get hung up on, oh, only 5 people are seeing me. But that's why sometimes nobody sees you, not even on your friend list, because you haven't been cultivating content that is making you discoverable, right? So that's what we're going to go over today. I'm going to give you 6 key things to really think about when it comes to having your organic reach be effective, right? So number 1, know your goal. Just know your goal, right? Your goal is not to let everyone know about your business. Your goal is to create a digital footprint. You are creating a digital footprint so that you are discoverable. And so the words you use in hashtags and in titles do matter, but you want to be clear over clever, right? I see this all the time. People get really clever with their words. And like, for example, and this is, I'm a mom, so trust me, I'm not picking on moms, but this is what I see a lot where they go, mompreneur. Well, nowadays, actually, people might be using mompreneur, but like even a few years ago, people were not going into Google saying, I want to be a mompreneur. They weren't. They were like, I'm a mom who wants to be an entrepreneur. So you'd have mom and you'd have entrepreneur. In Google, think of Google as like the search engine. It's crawling to find those words. If it finds a word that you've created, very clever creation of a word, it, that's not going to make you discoverable. No one's typing that word into Google. Does that mean you can't use a word you made up? No, of course you can, but you have to know the difference. Is this adding to my digital footprint, or is this something that people who already know about me can use? Hey, Dion, welcome to the party. So again, you want to be clear over clever. And I wrote down this example here, right? Well, I'll go over that later. Anyway, so know your goal, right? And remember that posting everywhere versus posting where you get the best bang for your buck. Like that's how you want to think of it. I don't need to post everywhere. I need to post where I'm making the biggest digital footprint impact, right? So, for example, a WordPress website would be much more effective than having a Wix website. Nothing's wrong with Wix, but it's not, and maybe they've made improvements, but in the last few years, I mean, I just know it's not as, it's the search engines are not, it's the way they put in WordPress. Oops, hold on. So it doesn't mean you have to have a WordPress website. I just am saying you see how you want to be tactical here and you want to think about this. Yes, glad you're here too. So if you have questions about what I'm talking about in real time here, post them in the comments. So you want to have content like a podcast, right? Or a YouTube channel. Those not only have searchability like from the search engines, but they also are a directory-based platform on its own. It has a browser, so people can actually search your topic or your whatever keywords you're using in the browser, and your stuff will be delivered to people without you having to pay a dime, right? So that's like YouTube, TikTok, Pinterest is actually, if you're a visual, if you have any visual elements to your business, Pinterest has a great search directory. They make pin, what do they call them? Rich pin. It's very Google friendly. Like it makes a huge digital footprint for you. Facebook and IG also are searchable, but I will say they are a little more oriented. It's meta and a little more oriented, I think, towards pay to play. So, when you're doing ads, you might get more bang for your buck than relying on organic search. However, that is not to say that these things shouldn't be done. They should be done because you want to have that. Hey, Misty, how you doing? So that's number one, know your goal. Your goal is create a digital footprint to make me discoverable, right? You want to be discoverable. Okay. Number two, so you want to pick a model of business, right? Do I want to be this is social media wise. Do I want to be an influencer model or do I want to use the entrepreneur model, right? Both sell, both share, but one is selling themselves as the product, right? And the other is extending offers and opportunities to purchase from them. So, like, there's no need for Jennie to share her favorite recipe on my social media because nobody's coming to me for recipes. Trust me, even in my real life, no one is coming to me for recipes, but really, it's not a part of my business. And while maybe like in my group,
we meet Monday nights and maybe I might say, "Oh my God, I had this delicious," and someone say, "Oh, give me the recipe." That may come up organically, but is it, am I discoverable because of my recipes? No. And the same thing with Kim Kardashian, right? She doesn't really need to try and teach anything or offer to sell something that she created herself because she's more of an endorsement celebrity person who has other people's products. If she has something, yeah, you're laughing, do you? I mean, if she has something that she, like, let's just say Kim Kardashian shoes, right? She didn't make those shoes. No, this is a different thing, right? She's now, because she's become an influencer and she's promoted herself and her brand and her name, she's capitalizing and she's able to use, sell that name and get royalties or whatever for people licensing her name. That's a different, that's, while that is an entrepreneur, I guess technically that's not the what I'm talking about as far as model goes. An influencer model is where you really want to highlight your life. And an entrepreneur model is where you really want to highlight your offers. So I see a lot of people that want to be um, entrepreneurs selling their offers, but they think that people need to get to know them. And so there is that like and trust factor, which I'll tell you in just a minute. I wrote this down as a good example, right? Tony Robbins, right? He's an entrepreneur who sells books and he sells coaching programs. And we don't know his favorite meal, and we don't see pictures of him out with his friends, and we don't see him like gazing off at a sunset. Like, so you really want to think to yourself, am I highlighting the products or am I highlighting me? And if you're highlighting you, the odds are you're him, Dion. Then the odds are you don't want to be highlighting so much of you because what that gives you is a bunch of followers and fans who basically go, "Yeah, we think you're great." They're not buying from you. They're not gonna buy from you. I mean, so it's a delicate balance, right? You want people to be following you and like you who, yeah, some of them are not gonna buy from you. But if that's why they call it a vanity metric, you're just feeding your ego. I mean, you're just in a way feeding your ego just to say, "Look how many people are following me." There's people that have hundreds of thousands of followers. I was just reading this girl the other day who said she had something go viral on Instagram. And then all of a sudden she had like 100,000 followers. And she's like, and now what? Like she had no plan, she had no path, no client pathway, she had no funnel like system, she had nothing. She didn't know what to do. And it's like, and everybody's like, "Oh, you have all these followers." She's like, "Yeah, and so?" That was it, and that was a few years ago, and I'm not laughing, I mean, it's painful, but it was a one-hit wonder in a lot of ways because everyone saw her, everyone liked it, and then everyone moved on, right? So, we're gonna get a little more into, like, what you wanna do here. Love that we touched so lightly on this at the time. Yeah. So, picking a model, if you want to be an entrepreneur, then you really want to say, how can I talk about, share my products, my services? That's really, does that mean I want, like, if you are, I mean, I'm expanding business with ease, right? Of course, I might show a laptop at the beach. You probably won't see Jenny in her swimsuit with a laptop at the beach. I might show that visual, but like it's not, I'm not saying everyone can lay at the beach and make millions of dollars. Like that's not my thing. So know, like, and trust comes from storytelling, right? And you want to have candid pics because people want to see some version of themselves in you and what you do. So if you're playing with your dog, people love that because they play with their dog. Think about that, right? If you're that kind of, the days of the guru who's like standing by, like I could be standing by my BMW. I have a BMW. It would be so douchey of me to stand by my BMW and be like, "Hey guys, you know, I don't even teach people how to be a coach. What do I care if you're a coach or not? I don't care." So you have to think, what am I doing? What am I saying? What kind of message is this? How's it working together? that my message is resonating with the people who want what I have to sell and offer, right? And I said, so you can scatter these strategically, right? Like a picture playing with your dog, or if you're out with friends, or you went to some cool place and you want people to see it. I get that, right? And like on my Instagram, I'm slightly more personal because it's a visual platform, right? And people want to see, and feel the real you. Um, Not like the fake. Did you guys see my post this week about my fake Hollywood filter me? Like, I got I put that out there thinking, "Oh my gosh, that's me," like, that's me if I really look all, like, dolled up and everything, and honestly, it got nothing, nothing, not even a "you look great." I mean, I don't know that everybody knew it was, like, a filtered picture, and didn't say anything because I don't think that's the case. But, like, I really feel there was no energy, that it was flat because it wasn't really me. When I make a real picture and I'm really looking in the camera and it's me, flaws and all, I get a lot more reaction and a lot more people talking to me every single time. So don't get heavy on the filters with the pictures. I do think you want a little bit of the torso and neck and head, not just the head like it used to be. But again, you want to be relatable, but it really needs to kind of relate back to your message or what you're about or what you sell, right? Which brings me to number three. So, number three, have a point of view. All right. Have a point of view. Don't try to talk to everyone. When you try to talk to everyone, you talk to no one, right? So, you want to have, and write this down, you want to have a main message and you want to have three, I'll call them themes. I've heard people call them pillars or whatever, and then I've heard people don't use pillar. You want to have three main pots or pools that you swim in, right? You want to kind of have three, no more than five. If you have five, I think that's still okay. But it's don't have any more than five. If you have more than five, you're too scattered. Your energy's too scattered and makes you less discoverable. Scattered energy, you want focused energy. You want focus, you want people to see you and say, "Yeah, you can help. I want what you have, what you're selling, what you have to offer." So, for example, oh, wait, I'm sorry. So there was the main message, three themes, right? And you want to have your offers have a clear call to action. And I would say, honestly, every post you make needs to have what they call CTA, which is a call to action that usually leads them to some top of funnel strategy, like a freebie, right? Or a Facebook group. I would tell you, honestly, to have it lead to a freebie would be the best thing. Does everybody in here know what freebie is? Do you guys know what a freebie is? This is the offer that you have that you make for people joining to get on your email list, right? It's like this ethical transfer of energy. You give me this free, valuable information, and I will, give you my email. Like it's that exchange, energetic exchange, which is awesome. And the reason why is because if, let's say, Facebook goes belly up and there's no more Facebook, how's Jenny going to find you, beautiful people? Right? So you want to be on my email list. I don't email an awful lot, so like to be on my email list is not exactly where you're getting a message from me every day or every even week. Or I've gotten really bad, like even every month. I need to try to do better with that. But the point of organic marketing, organic audience growth, is to bring them into your email in the first place. Right? Jen says, but I think I need a new one. Yeah, you might. Um, I know I probably need a new one too. I mean, I'll tell you right now, like mine is a full-blown mini course. Like it's a course in and of itself. All that information is a lot. I probably need one that's really, and this is the point of it, right? You don't need to think, I got to give away the farm. I got to give away something that's worth $1 million. You need to just share something that's important to you and your message, right? That's all. So, like mine is let it be easy. That's kind of, if I have a quote that I love, it's let it be easy, right? So, everything I do speaks to how can we make it easier? How can we override the hard part and get to the juicy, fun, good part? So for me to have let it be easy, my freebie is elevate your inner game, right? Because if your inner game is all effed up, it's not a surprise that you're not putting together the dots out here. You have to align in a certain way, and I take people through a whole process. That's my freebie. I think I could do a more simplified freebie though, to Jen, to your point. So Dion says his freebie is a 15-minute consultation where you read body graphs, and it's mixed with intuition and helps guide to an elevated place in life. And Dion, and I know when you did that, and I was like, that's great. And I will tell you, I do think that's great for you right now. And if you anyone else is kind of in this newly or restarting or want to just do something that is gonna really help with organic, growth, you want to have dialogues and conversations with real people, that kind of freebie is great because what that's going to do is people are going to get a very valuable service from you. It has, you said 15 minutes, so that's not like giving away the farm, but it's not sustainable for as you grow. I will just say, I mean, I know we didn't go over that part, but like, let's just imagine that you had 50 people this week that signed up for that, right? What's what do you think is happening um, with your schedule? If you have 50 people scheduling 15-minute consultations back to back or all these days, like you probably it's just and then if you have more than that, like you just want to think, what can I put on automate that's not really my own personal time where I have to show up as a freebie? Obviously, you do that with your coaching, you do that with your one-on-one work, or maybe some program you show up, or like going live or something, but not, you don't want to make a freebie where people just give you an email and you're doing this like in-depth research. I know when I appointment setter funnels, I'm not sure. I mean, I know, right. I know, but do you see what I'm saying? If you have so many people, and I get what you're saying. So you would only do the certain amounts of time. So if I only want to do 2 a day, but then you're limiting your growth, right? I'm just saying every time you trade money for time, every time, you're not gonna maximize your potential. You're just not. Okay. So moving on. So back to okay, mine is let it be easy. And so my 3 themes, right? One is energetic alignment or attunement, right? One is focus. I talk about productivity and time management. I go into the quantum about it, but it's still productivity and time management. I do frequency and vibration. Yeah, yeah. Um, and that how I do that is through human design and quantum laws, right? That's my how. How is paid. I'm an entrepreneur, right? What and why? Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's get you understanding what you need and why you need it. And sometimes you get big ahas like, oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that. Right. But your special sauce is going to be your how. So that's why I always speak to the what and why in your content. Because people think that they can do it on their own. Right. And that's fine. You got to let them think that. You got to let them go off and maybe they will create their own thing. Maybe they won't take advantage of the fact that you've figured it out. Maybe they just the what and why is enough and they love you for life and they'll recommend you and refer you to friends. And that's fabulous, right? And other people will say, wow, now that I know what and why I need it, how though? How? Jenny, I don't want to dig around, search, and waste my time. You tell me how. Oh, you have that program? I'll buy it. Oh, you have that service? I'll buy it. So again, we're going back to organic reach has to have a point. You have to have a point of view. Those are your themes. You have to have a message. You may have a few. I want you to cull it down and have one to start. Don't have 10 messages. A confused mind will not give you money. When no one's sure how you're going to help them, they're not going to give you money. Yeah, Dion, right? So always speak to the what and why, right? Num There's no 5 steps to create a perfect world where everyone is happy. Do you see how vague and general that is? No one wakes up in the morning saying, wow, if I only have 5 steps to be happy, let me go to Google and type in 5 steps to be happy. I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's just very vague. It doesn't make you shine as an individual, right? You're going to see a lot of kind of like chat GBT BS out there. This is 5 steps, you know. Or this one, people use again, that tricky language that only, and listen, these aren't rules because there's a lot of people who want to be a goddess. I know lots of people that have a goddess school, goddess curriculum, goddess, right? But when you say become a goddess within, right, you are so vague. And I don't know that that's really what people are like, let me find out how to be a goddess. Is that really what they're saying? You want to be discoverable. I'm not saying there's not a place for that in your business. There's a place for it. It's just not when you're thinking of organic reach. All I'm going to say. Does that make sense? So balance your free content between the what and the why, right? Balance that and always have most of the how, like I said, be paid. I don't even mean that you can't share how. If you listen to me, I share a lot of free how, right? Because I've got a lot of years of experience and I've got a lot of testimonials and people that have had success. And so some of that, I'm like, it just comes out. And that's fine. Don't censor yourself. But you want to really move people into not only a fan and a follower, but a consumer, a paid consumer, because that's what you're in business for. There's no business, it's a hobby. If you're giving away things for free and you never charge people, you have a hobby, my dear. You don't have a business. And I don't want you to have a hobby. I mean, you can have a hobby, but this should be your business. The thing we're talking about, organic reach, is about making money. So use real stories as much as possible too. So this is all under have a point of view. You want to have a point of view with a message. Like I said, there's one main message. And I would say, what would you put in quotes? What are you saying to people, right? Me, I'm saying, let it be easy, right? And then my 3 themes, energetic alignment, focus, and frequency, right? Those are my buckets. Those are my pools I swim in. Now, those can look very different. I can have 20,000 ways I do my energetic alignment. So I'm not saying you stick to one thing, but it's one, category, 3 categories, right? And if you have to have 5, fine, but like really 3 would be better. And then you want your offers with a clear call to action that says like, join my Facebook group or get this freebie and give me your email, right? Those things are helping you move the, hey, Maeve. So let's move on. Does everybody get that so far? We've gone through 3. We have 3 more. Is everybody good so far? Let's see in the comments. What do you think? Is everybody liking this so far? You like the word category. Yeah. Yeah, category. Theme, category, pillar, whatever you want to call it. So number 4. Okay. Number 4 is embodiment versus achievement. I want you to really think about that for a minute. No one cares as much about your credentials or what schooling you've had, formal training, right? As much as they care what you can do for them. That's just the embodiment. When you are the person who's making this happen, that's going to trump any kind of achievements you've had in the past, right? So you don't put the focus on you, all right? You put the focus on like your testimonials speak for you, right? I mean, you want to talk about you some. Hi, my hi, Dave, Dion. Yay! So yeah, you want to think about. I mean, I've seen people say this. They're like, I don't have a college degree, I don't have this and that, but I have $100,000 in the bank, and this is how I did it. That's very compelling to people that want to make money, right? If their big driving force in the morning is how can I make more money? And they put in how can I make more money? And then this guy's like got all his stuff set up so that he's searchable. He's showing up his podcast or his blog or his YouTube video, maybe his TikTok, and that's what he's talking about. He's made a digital footprint. And you're going to find him because that's what you're looking for, and it's a match, right? But he has to embody this. You can't be promising things that aren't you, right? You can't say, I'm going to give you this and that if you're not going to give them that. Um, so I've seen a lot of people talk about achievement because believe me, I know I get it. If you've spent $100,000 on your education, let's say you have a, like I have a degree in psychology, right? That was expensive. I have like an MBA, I think, like an ADHD, because I went to an ADHD coaching training school. I don't have it myself, but boy, can I help people with it. And then I started my MBA. I had 4.0 average. And then I got the download, like, this is all vanity. This is all insecurity too. I felt like I needed to show people it's a worthiness thing, right? I I have this degree and I have that degree. Degrees are great, but not like embodiment. When it comes to selling, people, I mean, if you want a job, if you want to be an employee, see, that's kind of what we're getting at here. Do you have an entrepreneur mindset or an employee mindset? Because employees really need to know what they're doing and they need to impress their bosses. Um, Entrepreneurs, no. You need to know what you're doing so that you can help other people do it. Kind of points. Now, let's say, what if you're like someone who's selling those multi-level marketing things and you're in sales, right? Which I love sales. I love selling. I love talking about selling. Um, if that's you and you're like, well, I'm not my product, but what's your product about? Is your product about health? Is your product about, let's say, I saw someone talking about Amazon affiliate. Share that. I mean, even more than sharing who you are as a person and see, I'm all this and that in a bag of chips. And in my free time, I do Amazon affiliate work. I would think instead of that, talk about, what are the things that you're talking about on Amazon? So you're building a sustainable digital footprint. Maybe don't share every affiliate link that exists. Instead, you share targeted ones that jive with who you're sharing about you or your interests. I hope this is making sense. Haha. Jen says, I have 4 degrees. I can't help myself, Jenny. I love to learn. I don't, there's nothing wrong with having degrees. I hope you don't take that like I'm like, you don't need a degree. I'm just saying it's becoming, when we're talking about organic reach, right? People are searching and you want to be discoverable. That's the bottom line. Your degrees and your pedigree, people aren't searching for that. If they were searching for that, that's when they go to doctors' offices, or that's when they go to this they sign up for courses or stuff from people, right? Dion says, the more you know, the more you grow. Yeah. No, listen, I do learning all day long, guys. I'm learning, and that's why I started the Quantum Club, because Jen actually asked me, are we gonna have a book club? And I was like, I don't really read books. I've never read a book on quantum. I've consumed a lot of content on it though, and I'm going to share that process with you. So for the next 2 months, Quantum Club's gonna be free, and after that, it's just gonna be $11 a month. It's gonna be like light touch. I hope that people come in and learn with me, and I get to share what I know, but it's an equal exchange of energy here. But this group right now, right, this expanding business with ease, this is free and fun, and I'm just giving you guys what I know, all right, for free. So number 5, you guys ready for number 5? Algorithmic reach. Now, I know I said it back at number 1, but I want you to really think about this. Algorithmic reach. And we can't know every algorithm, unfortunately. You may see some people say, I cracked the code. I know the algorithm for this platform and this platform. But guess what? They're going to change it again. That's what they do. They make it this way, and then when everyone's figured it out, then they make it that way. So I wouldn't waste a lot of time and effort on trying to crack any codes. Okay. I absolutely would think, what can I do so that it's more likely than not that I'm going to get responses on my content? It's really your question. Because when you get responses, that I don't care what they do, the algorithm, that's the measure, that's the metric that they say, oh, people are paying attention to this. And we know that because look at the responses. And I'll tell you, like showing some love, like one of those heart care hearts or even a heart is better than a like. It rates higher in the algorithm. Have you ever wondered why Jenny goes around and does cares on people's content? Yeah, I'm a caring individual, but I also know I'm helping you out as much as I can. Just likes don't help as much as cares. And might they change that? Sure. But you know what? It's the same effort on my part to go like or care or love, right? So when they see, oh wow, this person, this piece of this post had 9 people liking it and 3 cares. Let's show it to more people. Ooh, this one had comments. Let's show it to even more people. Oh, this one had comments on the comments. Let's show it to more people. Oh, this one had the person who posted re-engaged with the people who liked and commented. So the other thing you don't want to do so much of is send people off of the platform. Because when you share a link that takes them to something off the platform, they don't share that so much. Because they're trying to keep their consumers on the platform. So you want to say, what's the algorithm going on here? Am I playing their game? It's their platform, it's their game. So I want you to really, think I need to engage. And this is a very vague but general rule that I have found the most success with. Go on first to other people's stuff, and spend a half hour to an hour in total every day, unless you do more, but like at least that, where you're going in and you're looking at someone else's thing, you're liking it or caring for it or loving it, you're commenting on it, you're sharing it, you're doing these things, those things all raise the algorithm. And then you go into your post and you create your post. And if you create it typing it versus copy pasting, they see this account, this IP address is not only spending time with other people, they're also spending time creating something. It's a real person. It's not a bot. It's not one of these automated systems. When you do a repetitive copy paste thing really quick, the algorithm thinks that you're not even a real person, that I actually had, this is a funny story. This happened to me last week. I had in my head, I was like, and I don't recommend doing this. It's kind of a waste of time, but I was waiting for a client and I was like, well, let me go into Instagram and stop following some of the people who aren't following me anymore. Right. Because there's some people that play this really annoying game of follow, no follow. So they follow you, so then you follow them, and then they go back in and they don't follow you. And I was like, I would never do that to somebody, but if they're going to do it to me, why am I following you if you're not even following me? So I went in and I started doing this. Well, it got to be kind of quick because you can be pretty easy at doing that, right? Keynotes, when you recommend, well, it's still though such a silly, they know if you're using a system to help you with this, and they blocked me and they said, you've obviously given your password to some third party software. And for that, you get, I'm not saying jail time, but like you get blocked or whatever. You get like zero access to your account for 24 hours. And I was like, are you kidding me? Because it was actually really me. It wasn't one of those systems. I didn't give my password to anybody, but they think you do when you get robotic like that. So it doesn't pay, if you ask me, to even purchase one of those systems that does that for you, because they're going to see it, they're going to ding you. So I wouldn't do it. And honestly, it's kind of a waste of time anyway. But um So spending time engaging with other people and then spending time on your stuff actually makes you seem like a really dedicated consumer of the platform, and they will share your stuff with more people, including the people that you already went to and beyond. So that's a little hack that works for now. Again, I wouldn't kill yourself trying to get to know all the rules of each platform because at the end of the day, your biggest thing that you want to take away here is there's some game, and how am I showing myself to be a good supporter of this game, this platform? How am I showing up, right? Am I showing up like barely there? Well, that's what you get. You get a barely shared experience. If I'm all in, you get more organic reach. If you're looking for an organic audience, you need organic reach, right? So is everybody good so far? So that was number 5. Another thing is that you might want to actively like and follow relevant to your niche accounts. I know that that's something that I have found to be quasi successful. I'm not going to say super successful, but um, you don't want to spend so much time in your ego that you're judging yourself against what other people are doing. But like I said, it's mostly about just playing the game of the algorithm. Okay, so we're going to go into number 6, and I'm going to give you guys 13 different, I'm going to say, ways to um, grow your audience organically. Okay, so get a pen and paper. This is number 6, last one here, and there's 13 of them. Number 1, engage in joint ventures with other entrepreneurs, especially in your niche. But really, depending on what you do, it could be in a variety of niches. So, like virtual summits, if someone's having a talk or a virtual summit and they need guests, yeah, volunteer for that, right? Guest on Facebook. Number 2, guest on Facebook and Instagram Lives. I just did this month my first Instagram Live with somebody I didn't even know I was doing. So you have to be brave and say, okay, and get on. You can figure it out. And now, if I'm doing that on someone else's platform, Jennie is showing up in their audience, right? That's a way someone from their audience might go, oh, I liked what she said. Let me follow her. Let me now be someone, and they might turn into a fan or a heart, or they might actually eventually buy from you. Um, I'll tell you what happens to me all the time. I get referred. I have people follow me, but then refer me to other people that they know. So again, the more what we want to do here is think of my digital footprint and then how am I reaching out to people, right? Guest on podcasts. Write up a sheet saying how great you are, talking about these subjects, and send them off to the people who have there's billions of podcasts. There's not billions, but there's so many. You did that in your BLM business group. Yeah, yeah. Well, it works, right? Guest on YouTube, right? We don't just have podcasts now, we have YouTube. So you can actually go on someone's videos as a guest or have your own YouTube channel and have them on as a guest. You're just sharing, again, audience. Donate your product or service in giveaways. This is number 5. Donate your product or service in giveaways in exchange for promotion. I've done that all the time. Like when people are having their raffles at the local school raffles, yeah, give away a coaching session or something for free. What happens is people will then see your name on a list of donations. They will also see the prize, the little basket that says Jennie Friedman's, and maybe in it I'll have, you know, I'm trying to think. I had a gift certificate, and what else did I have? I don't remember. It was a while ago since I did that, but yeah, I just know that it gave some local exposure. All my clients are online now, so I don't worry about it so much, but that is something you can do. You can also put up a flyer in a local business. You can literally put up a flyer at your local grocery store or laundromat, like all the local businesses that have flyers. and have those little tear off things that people can call for I call them insight sessions, but like discovery call. Like you want to have people just reach out to you, make a compelling flyer. Number 7, offer affiliate commissions, right? When people refer my $2,000 program, and if they're in my program, they paid $2,000. And if they refer a friend who then does the program, I give them $500. So something to think about. Not just with me, but like other people might be offering some sort of affiliate commission, but basically it's then exposing your service to their audience and their friends. Number 8, guest blog. You may not even be a blogger, but you might say, you know what, let me write one and then shop it around and see who wants to put it on. And then you can actually literally tweak it a little bit and put it on someone else's. I did that. That's part of how I got the 5,000 people following me on my business page. Because nowadays, business pages, forget it. Dead zone, you have to kind of have one for if you're going to do paid advertising, but it's hard to get people to follow you on your business pages. That's why I'm like in the group, share your business page, guys. Let's help each other out. But yeah, guest blogging is great. Number 9, trade your product or service for promotion by an influencer. Let's use these people who are influencers for our good, right? They're sitting there doing all this work to highlight themselves. And if you give them a taste of what you do, and then they talk about it to their followers, that's a huge win, right? How'd I jump to 5? Oh, I'm sorry, Dion. So number 1 was engage in joint ventures, like virtual summits. Number 2 is guest on Facebook and IG Lives. Number 3 is guest on podcasts. Number 4 is guest on YouTube. Number 5 is donate your product or service in a giveaway or some exchange for promotion. Number 6 is put up flyers in local businesses. Number 7 is offer affiliate commissions to your stuff, right? Number 8 is guest blog. Number 9 is trade your product or service for promotion by an influencer. So instead of reaching out to bloggers or podcasters, you would reach out to influencers like on TikTok or on Instagram. These people can have hundreds of thousands of followers. Wouldn't you love to have their audience have eyeballs on something that they're talking about? I did Jennie's program and this happened to me. Oh, that'd be fantastic advertising, right? And you didn't pay for it. You just gave the person the product or service for free. Number 10, go to networking events. I know like BLN, that is, some people are like, I hate networking in person. It is like, nothing, I can't explain it. There's an energy to in real life that you can maximize. The only downside I have ever experienced with networking is that now I have to listen to what you do. And in networking events, I found a lot of those people sold insurance. No offense to people selling insurance, but it's just like, I already have insurance, so I wasn't going to change my insurance. And then so you want to go now. Some people are starting networking for like certain more niche things. Like I could see me starting like a quantum networking group, and then I would attract people I probably would want to listen to all day long, right? So networking, you can be selective there. Number 11, start your own Facebook group. Okay. When you start your own Facebook group, there's definitely a right way and a wrong way to do it. But when you do it the right way, people find you because Facebook is showing your group to other members of other groups, and they're saying, hey, if you like this group, try this group. And they're doing the advertising for you. Again, it's about become discoverable, and you have to think about all the right things you want to do in your Facebook group to make that happen. Number 12, participate and earn a top contributor badge in other Facebook groups. Now, why would you want that to happen? Why would you want your name to keep showing up in the feed in someone else's Facebook group? Anybody know? I'm kind of looking to see if anybody says anything. Do you guys know the answer? Because I've actually had people say, "Why would I care if I show up with a badge?" I'm telling you, there's a reason. Okay, nobody's saying why. You guys are saying other things, but I'll go ahead and tell you. Because of name recognition, visibility. Yeah, name recognition. If if somebody sees Jenny Friedman, I don't care what group it's in, they see Jenny Friedman, and then they see Jenny Friedman or hear it's all name recognition. Or, oh, I saw that girl. She was talking about this. Let me find it. I've done that. I refer people all the time. So I've said, wait a minute, let me go back in my Facebook group. I saw somebody mention that. Oh, and then I see the name. If you see top contributor, you know they're not just popping in a group, being kind of, non-committed and not really interested in building and creating. And I probably won't refer them as much as I refer the people who are going to show up all the time. Even in other groups, I go, well, they're obviously someone who's dedicated to this group. It just gives you a level of confidence and trust. So it's free. Why not earn that, right? Remember the algorithm, and you're maximizing name recognition. Accreditation, right? Accreditation. Yes, it's giving credit. All right, number 13, this last one, right? Ask your clients and customers for referrals. I've gotten business that way, where I've said, literally, you guys, I've had so much fun working with you. Do you know anyone who might also benefit from what I do? Right? Especially like this Money Quest. I had so much fun with you guys in Money Quest. Here, next time we have Money Quest, invite some friends. Here's a link you can give them. So people do that, and you can get business in from just asking people who love you and work with you and trust you already. And people will continue to do that. I do that. I do that all the time, which is why I'm always saying in this group, I refer people. I bet you do too. And so you want to work with people who are like showing up for themselves, because when people are helping themselves, you have more confidence. That energy is like, yeah, they keep showing up for themselves. You want to help build up their success. They want to help build up your success. And it's a win-win. Does anybody have any questions about any of those 6 things? I know we went on a little long, but I'm glad, because I think I covered all the things I kind of wanted to say. And I'm happy to answer any questions. I had said I would answer any questions if anybody had them in the group. Let me just go check real quick. If anybody had anything here. Now I see people saying they're coming to the live, but they don't have any questions. So if you have questions, so I'm gonna end the recording here. Thanks for joining. No, I will say this too for the recording too. If you have questions now, like if after this you go, oh, now I have a question, go below in the comments, type your question. I will respond in the